Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really feel like putting a lot of you guys on the spot for having your work recorded. And besides, that can be a little difficult for anyone to rewatch that kind of stuff. If you guys are open to it and want to, because you want to be able to look back at people's work, kind of get reviews on it, kind of get feedback, or get be able to revisit for inspiration, let me know. But I kind of figure like my code and what I do, I'm the teacher. I'm expected to be recorded. So you guys, I don't want to put you guys in the spot right away. The goal for you guys to get used to sharing your code and sharing and speaking in public so that you can get used to it for the interview. That's the other reason why we do this stuff, by the way. 100%. Part of the reason why we have you guys review your code, walk us through it, showcase it to the class is to get used to doing that for the interview. Because it can be very scary to do that. I can guarantee, I think it's next month you'll be doing it. There's going to be a time we're going to do a one-on-one with me, and you're going to code something while I watch you, knowing that. And of course, the fun thing is that you're going to be thinking in the back of your head, this person's judging me, and that could be the scariest thing to code. So when you know that there's someone watching you that you, whether or not I agree or not, but you presume is better as a developer than you, it can be very daunting to do that. There's a kind of a slight nervousness that can appear. I want to make sure you guys. I can't guarantee. I will not say that I'm going to help you get rid of that emotion. You will. That nervousness will probably always be there, but my goal is to help you be okay with that feeling and to be able to feel that, but continue working and to not clam up and to not blank in your mind. That's really the
Yeah,
goal
it's
of that
monthly.
exercise. Go for it.
What were you saying,
Uh,
Cliff? I was breaking up a little bit.
Fine. 1 second. I'll let everybody ask this question.
so I don't know. Like Google is really my friend when I'm coding. So
Which is fine.
is it fine?
Yeah.
Because like a lot of
Developers
times
know
I
it's a
know,
tool.
especially like for me that I came from developing front end,
Mhm.
so I know what I need. I might not know the syntax for Java, you know.
And that's the main thing. 100% during an interview, you are fine with Googling syntax. Do not Google the answer. That's the key item. You should be coming up with your own solution. Then how do I do this again? How do I print the console? How do I save to a variable? What's the syntax for the for loop? Knowing that that's what you want to use. Like I want to use a for in. What was that? How do I do that again? That's fine. The main thing to remember though is the more you can memorize on the fundamentals, the basic common building blocks, the more time you're going to save. So the things you need to refer to constantly, like the main method, for in loops, for each loops, that kind of stuff. So the kind of things you use on a regular basis, system out. You do want to try to make sure that those do kind of become second nature and kind of become muscle memory, because those can just save time because they're such a common item. But yeah, the less common items, you can Google search the syntax for that. That's fine. They expect that. They know you're going to do that in the job. So, so yeah, you're fine. But main thing is during that interview, I would let you know if you're over Googling, because I'm and letting you know like, yeah, you're Googling a bit too much. You might want to learn some of these things, and I'll tell you which items that you might want to make sure you're kind of starting to memorize. Like if I see you Googling things that's like, yeah, that's the everyday kind of code. You want to try to memorize that. So I'll let you know if I feel like you're over Googling. And again, it's not because that's bad, because it's wasting time for you. And during the hacker rank tests that are timed, and even during the interview, when you're in the middle of the interview, you do have a certain amount of time to complete what they're having you do. So that's where I care more. We want to minimize unnecessary Googling, if that makes sense. Not because it's bad to do, because time.
Yeah, no, like you said, like for loops, like most of stuff I know by my head. It's just like when I was doing that, I did like I forgot that one that you do like to check if it's false or true, but one liner. I forgot the name that it does for that. Ternary, exactly.
Yep.
I was not sure if it was the same for Java, so I Googled it. But I knew what I was doing. It's just making sure it works for Java.
That's an okay item to look up. Yeah, that's fine. And as long as you can also justify, at some point realize this is taking me too long, I'm just going to use the standard if statement then. So those are some of the decisions you'd be able to make too. All right, so now we're recording. So that's in there. Fun. All good though. It's fine. So what we're trying to do is we're actually going to take what you guys built today. So everything you built today can be reused. You might have to modify it. You might have to adjust it. You might have to remove some things and edit things. We actually do want to turn the engine class into an abstract class. So we do want to do that. Engine is going to turn abstract. And the idea is that you're going to build a quote, game. This is not an actual game where you're going to be able to pick a car and get it to go down a track a certain length. And I'm going to put it all into an assignment. But the main goal is that there is something we want a process called ticks. And so on each turn, you get to make one command and then a turn passes. And so the speed of a current car is how far that car travels during that tick, for example. During that tick, let's say you're applying the brake. What I think it was actually, I think Manny, you had the reduced speed, right? Well, who had that? It had like the -10 and reduced speed.
The one
was
who
that?
went,
It was
whoever went right
Travis.
before me.
I think
I
it
know
was
Travis.
Travis.
Or Matt, yeah. Freddie might
Was
have
it
also had it.
Simer? Whoever went right.
Simer might have had it.
Simer had it as
Simer.
well.
Yeah,
I
That
because
was-
he had
was-
braking
yeah.
distance.
Simer was the
Yeah,
most
braking
recent I saw,
distance
the
in
braking
there.
distance. Yeah, braking.
Yeah.
So that idea, so what Simer had there, that -10 for a single instance of braking, that is what you could say was a tick of time. And so you could say that, yes, if they're braking, they're going to reduce their current speed by a certain amount for that tick. And the longer they press it, the more they'll slow down each tick until they get to 0, of course. And the same thing, we're going to have max speed on certain cars. And what really is, you get to have fun with this is think about some of the items that can, what you want to do is make sure you have at least 2 vehicles, a minimum of 2 vehicles and 2 engines. And these items can change, and this is going to change how the car performs. So certain cars could have a higher weight, so you could, if you decide to implement friction, for example. These are things you can do but don't have to do. But there's a ton of things you can decide on. What I really want to do with this one, the main goal of this weekend project is to give you very little specific items so that you guys can be creative with this. Create what you want. I'm saying cars, but if you want to do a boat, if you want to do boats or planes, do that. If you want to take on the challenge and think you have enough time to do it and want to add altitude to your game, to your, not game, but program, go for it. The main requirements is a vehicle, so car, plane, whatever it is, abstract class, 2 instances of that child item, an engine child abstract class, and then 2 instances of that. Again, you can add more if you want to do, if you're doing boats and you want to have engines, or instead of engines, do sails, go for it. And if you want to have sails and then a body, a different type of body for the boat as well. So that could be the 2 instances of that. You have like 2 boat bodies and 2 sails. For the plane, you can have jets and propellers, for example, whatever you want to do. For the car, you can even add a 3rd abstract class of tire. And so now you can have tire, engine, and car body affecting how your car moves each tick and how it accelerates and slows down, if that makes sense. So the goal of this is that during the program, you pick the vehicle you want to use and what engine it uses. Start them off at 0. They can make the command accelerate, brake, accelerate or brake. The goal is for them to accelerate to the quote finish line and then stop the car. And that's the end. The system should be able to know when the car is stopped past it. Every time they make, and they can, one of the actions, accelerate, brake, or coast. In other words, idle. Don't do anything. Just wait. So that'd be you like maintaining speed, for example. So not slowing down, but not accelerating either. And then stop. And so again, really have fun with what you can implement in this. Implement stop zones where they have to make sure that they don't overshoot the finish line too much or hit a wall or something. So you could say that, they have to get across the finish line as fast as possible, but also have to stop before they hit a wall if you want. You could have a dead zone in your version of it. You can add friction to your system, where if they're idling, they actually do lose a little acceleration every turn. You can add a system that slows down the amount of acceleration they gain every turn the closer they get to max speed. There's a bunch of different things you can do in this. Have fun with it, learn about the abstract class system, learn about your flow, and main thing for this is learning that concept of time passing in a game or in a program, time passage in a program, both in games, but also just programs as well. So how do we make sure that time passes and things occur? So any questions about that? So again, the main goal here is for you guys to be creative in this one. Because again, the main goal of you guys here is to be able to build something on your own with little input from me. If I tell you exactly what to build every time, that's not going to help you. You need to know that you guys can build stuff with very little input from me. So you have a full weekend for this. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is going to be, of course, office hours from 1 to 3, which I don't know. So Manny and Eridan, you guys were there at the end of my office hours, 3 o'clock, when I got to review your project. My office hours are from 1 to 3. I will post the link. Last thing I want to mention also, by the way, I found out that the whole reason you guys had 3 separate meetings for the 3 different days of the week is because someone didn't know that Google could actually have the same item be customized for what days of the week it could be repeated. So we thought they thought that if you had a weekly event for Monday, that was it. You couldn't do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and skip Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday. So that's why you had 3 separate ones. I just followed along because that's what I thought you guys are used to. We'll be changing that. We're going to do a single meeting for all 3 days. I will probably keep the office hours a separate Zoom meeting, just to keep it easy on myself, because it's a separate one, just so I can keep track of that. But yeah, the classes as of Monday, we're going to use the Monday link for all classes. So that's going to be changed to just cohort 12 class.
Got it.
And so same Zoom link every day moving forward. That sound good? Sound convenient? So that'll be changing the calendar invite. Eridan and Mandy will be included in that. So you'll now get the alerts on your Google Calendar as well for mine. So you can leave the event from Gabe's if you want. You don't have to have that one go off anymore if you don't want.
Yeah, I don't think Erden got Gabe's. He got 15.
Oh geez. Yeah, I'll be sending you guys the one for this one. So as of Monday, you'll have the link for that. Again, I'll put the requirements for this weekend project into the Zoom and into Classroom tonight. But again, the overall goal is just to create a game where you drive a vehicle, it speeds up or slows down, and you're trying to get it past a certain distance. And again, don't worry about too much of the super details. I don't care what your distance is. It doesn't have to be miles or knots or feet. It's units of distance.
Sure.
So be aware of like what details are important and what details aren't. And so your first and foremost thing, and this is something I want to make sure I say because I don't think Eridan, and by the way, Eridan, if I say Iridian, I don't know why it's happening and I say that with your name, call me out on it because I need to stop. I think my brain has built a bad habit on your name already. I don't like it.
It's
I notice I've been doing that today and I'm like, wait, why am I keep saying that? And he's not calling me out on it.
It's Eridan from The Witcher, like I said.
Eridan, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed I caught myself later.
You can say it's just Eddie, it's fine.
Eddie. I will work that, but I first need to break my habit of Iridian. That's a bad habit.
Whenever
Is that Iridian that you say? That sounds like a gamer thing.
Yeah, Iridian sounds like it's probably a name of a character somewhere.
It's probably some mining that you did on some game.
Yeah,
sounds like
probably.
an element or something.
Yeah, that's probably more likely some sort of element or something material. But for you, I want to make sure you hear this analogy too. Your first focus and all you need to have by Monday is your wooden plane. Remember that analogy. Keep that in your head. Picture that in your head. The wooden plane. I don't care. All I needed to do is to take off and land. I don't care. There doesn't need to be a cut. There doesn't need to be an actual like body of the plane. Those people are sitting in folding chairs that are taped down. They're carrying an oxygen mask over their face. I don't care. I just needed to take off and land. We can add all the polish later if you would have additional time. Once you've gotten the basics in, you can add all the polish and put the body on, you can swap the chairs out, do all that after. All right. Use simple wooden propellers to start and then turn them and change them to jets later. All right. Get the basics in first, make it work. And then you can add in all the other stuff later. So what I would recommend for everyone is Friday. That should be your brainstorm day. Come up with what you are building, what it's going to do, what items you want in your version of the program. Maybe and possibly don't even code unless you feel like you don't have a lot of time over the weekend. Friday should be your plan day. What classes, what are the methods, what are the fields, what do you need to make it work? Plan it out, have a plan of attack in some way Friday evening, or at least Saturday and Sunday, you're building it out. And then if you're stuck on anything on Sunday, pop into the session, talk with me. And at any time between Friday and between the weekend at all, reach out to one of your TAs if you need help in any way, shape, or form. You got your Matt, Freddie, and John. So if you need any help at all, reach out to them. They're supposed to meet with one of you guys every week. So reach out, take advantage of it, get some help. Sound good?
I just thought about the Michael Jordan meme. Stop, get help.
Yeah. Stop it, get some help. And I'm probably gonna end up saving Mike's for last, just so that no one feels bad about theirs.
I already feel bad
I
now.
volunteered to go first on Monday.
I know he's gonna be starting with his graphical interface already, so he's gonna just expand on that. So I want everybody to worry about
I
it.
volunteer
Don't worry about it.
Monday to go first right now.
He's like, I'm going first. You can take the Band-Aid off. I don't want to do this again. Yeah, whenever I always feel like it. The first time someone goes last, like never again. I want to go first next time. I want to get it out of the way because then they can just sit back and relax the whole class.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the burden of going last.
Okay, Freddie.
There we go. But yeah, we'll have this again. Just build what you need to build. Make sure you're understanding the core concepts here: instantiation, objects, abstraction, access modifiers, and packaging. So I want to see all those things in your projects this week, and that's why we're not doing anything brand new. We're staying with the same core items we've done this whole week. We didn't introduce any new items. We just have the access modifiers and the access modifiers, packaging, and abstraction. Using those new features, we just want to make sure we build something from scratch so you really get down these items. And then next week, interfacing and right into card games.
All right.
You said we were building this on scratch?
Again, you can from scratch, I guess, but not fully. And you can use your existing code. Borderlands, you're kidding. Mike found it. There's apparently a character called Iridian Rifle from Borderlands. Which one? Because I only played 1 and 2. and I
It's
only
a
dabbled in
rifle, I
3.
think. The name of the
Oh
rifle.
yeah,
is
Iridian.
Rifle.
Yeah.
That sounded Borderlandsy.
All right, there we go. That's what my brain is going to.
Too new for me.
I never played.
I played it, but yeah, that did not register in my head at all. I don't memorize the names of rifles. Sorry. That's too detailed for me. I just play the game. But yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing this weekend. I want to make sure everyone has the stuff down pat so we can move on to the next stuff because then we're going to get into interfacing and card games. And then you have your final like console project before we move on to Spring Boot. So we need to make sure we have these core fundamentals down and move on to Spring Boot and algorithms. So sorry.
I thought you were like, I move on to algorithms. Go boys. Like I thought it was like something, motivation.
I grabbed the wrong fidget item. I usually play with this.
Thought it was the algorithm
Yeah,
police knocking on the door.
Nah.
Gets really
Ended up
excited.
giving myself a rugby ball
Algorithms, open up.
my back, and now it just ended up I got this to massage my back once in a while, and then it ended up becoming a fidget toy. And I'll just toss it around now.
That noise is what I
Yeah.
think is going to happen when I break my GitHub streak. Someone's going to knock on my door and tackle me to the ground. You didn't push code today.
And again, if anyone has any questions about the project, feel free to ask here. You can post comments on the assignment. You can also just message me in Slack if something isn't clear. But I'm going to type out the assignment. I've adjusted it a bit. So what I had originally typed, I got to fix. So I will adjust it after seeing what you guys had today. Everyone here, by the way, definitely did great. So I think everyone here had a pretty good understanding of abstract classes. So I will say on that behalf, well done, Matt, on that. That tells me that Matt definitely explained it well since everyone here was able to implement some version of it. So well done on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So well done, everybody. Good job. Keep it up. I'm excited where this is going. I'm glad no one jumped from that. I was like, oh no, of course it happened at the very end of class. I've been throwing the ball around with no problems all class with no issues in the very last minute. Right on
I
camera.
think you just like wired us to get excited about algorithms now.
Sure, yes, do algorithm. Ah. Trust me, that is one of my favorite things. I love algorithms. So they're a fun little challenge for me. So I could see myself getting excited about that. All right, I will see everybody on Monday. Have a great week. Also, and I'll see some of you on Sunday. So yeah, have a great weekend. Good luck on this. And again, if you need anything, let me know.
On Sunday, I'll be help.
Again, don't wait till Sunday though.
I
If you
feel
need help
that. I
earlier,
feel that.
ping your TAs. If you need help on Saturday, ping a TA, put it in Slack. And if you need it, at me and I'll channel it. So if you need help Friday, tomorrow, or Saturday, post it in Slack at me and I'll pop in with an at channel. So that way your classmates can help you out. So you don't need it. You can also get help from any classmate. You guys are allowed to work with a classmate while also making your own original work though. But you can get help from each other and work with each other to make sure you understand things. You can brainstorm together. So by all means, work as a team, work together, take advantage of the fact that you're in a class. Don't feel like you have to be solo on this stuff. You are not alone in this process. All right, look around. You have a good group here. Very strong people in this group. So take advantage of it. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Right. See y'all Monday.
Have a good weekend,
Have a
everyone.
good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Good weekend.
Have a good night.
Good weekend.
See ya.
All right, good night, everybody. I'll be seeing you all very soon.
John, can I work with you on the project then this weekend?
Were you asking?
Who said John?
I said, yeah, you.
I think he's
yeah,
asking you to
sure.
be his TA over the weekend.
Yes.
Of course.
Because
Sure.
at this rate, I feel like my creative juices have been burnt out.
You say you probably get to backtrack a bit and then add some more useful stuff. So for you, I would probably
Yeah.
just cut back a bit and maybe get John to help you to how to realize what here is excessive that's going to make your life difficult. Because I feel like what you have right now could actually make this harder because you have so much
Yeah.
stuff there. So
Yeah.
for you, I think the easiest thing that John can do is cleaning up and streamlining or refactoring your code to streamline it. Because you saw how little Mike had, but what he was able to show, right? Like you can see
Yeah.
how much he was able to visually demonstrate with his front end, while his methods were very, very small. If you saw that, I don't know if you noticed, if you took note of that. So yeah, it's
Another
very
thing
easy to
is
get
that-
what's called feature creep. The way I think Matt put it really, really perfectly. Adding more than you need, and I've done that before. I get really, especially if I'm excited about something, I'm like, "Ooh, this is fun." I'll add way too much, and then it makes your life very difficult because you have to manage all that now. So that would be my recommendation to you, John. Is just how do we simplify it so that you have less to worry about? Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you two can schedule
Not
something.
gonna lie,
I'll
not
talk
gonna
to
lie,
you guys
getting a
later.
little bit of flashbacks from Liar's Dice, but it's all good.
You'll be fine. It's not. We're not doing anything fancy with that yet. That's a couple weeks, and we'll get into the card games. That's a Liar's Dice level. This is just again bare minimums. Airplane, wooden airplane. No body to the plane. Everyone's wearing gas masks to breathe oxygen. All right. Yeah, you two head up in Slack, schedule something. I'm actually gonna kill the meeting, so schedule something in Slack, get it set up so you guys can meet up over the weekend.